So here we are at the Stobart Stadium on Friday Night Super League, waiting for the resumption of the action between Wakefield and Widnes. Wakefield just ahead at the break by 16 points to 12, but a game that has, I'm sure, entertained the crowd, and a bit of a sentimental journey for Richard Agar, the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats coach. He was a player here at Widnes 2001. He played in the old NFP Grand Final, the win against Oldham that got Widnes up into Super League. He didn't actually play Super League for the Vikings. He started standoff though in that Grand Final, and he stayed in the lower divisions as Widnes had their first stab at the big time. And of course, Richard Agar now very much part of the big time for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Got them into the playoffs last year. That's the ambition for 2013 for both of these clubs. And here's Patrick Arvan for Widnes as they have first use of the football start of this second half from the Wakefield kickoff.
Well, I'm sure that Dennis Betts has said to his forwards that they needed to up the tempo. They're really outclassed and outplayed in that first 40 minutes by their opposites. The Wakefield pack look far more eager to get over the advantage line, and they have to do exactly the same. And that's pretty good defence yet again.
It is. Pickersgill gets them to halfway though. The black and whites of Widnes, the Widnes Vikings. Here is Kevin Brown. Kermond got to him but couldn't affect the tackle. Brown got the kick away, and that ball will skip dead, and it will be a 20-metre restart for Wakefield, start of this second half.
Under a lot of pressure, wasn't it? They tried to get it away quickly. I must say Widnes were very, very keen to get back on that 30-metre line.
Well, Steve-O said in his opening remarks this second half, Dennis Betts has told his forwards to get a bit more stuck in the second 40. Let's see what was said at the half-time break. Rod.
Well, he certainly called for more enthusiasm in this second half from his team, Eddie, that's for sure. He said his team were out-enthused in the first half, wants to see more from his team like we saw in the final 10 minutes when they were really sticking it to Wakefield on their own line. A penalty blown by referee Ben Thaler. That's not going to help Widnes, and he just wants them to be a lot smarter. As far as Richard Agar's concerned, they talked a lot about the kicking game, turning the ball over in more dangerous areas. Say it's more about them than Widnes. Pretty confident if they play like they did in the first 40, they'll come away with the result, Eddie.
Well, you're right, that won't help Widnes, this penalty that Wakefield will now begin this attack from. Dennis Betts is downstairs now. He's prowling the touchline.
Well, he knows, Eddie, that they need a little bit more composure.
That's a good hit. Great hit, though, by Kevin Brown on his opposite number, Paul Sykes. Here's Danny Kermond.
Again, they've got to be careful not to give away a silly penalty. Messing around at the play the ball area. They've got to be clean.
Ayton to Tim Smith. Delayed the pass and found Amor. And Amor couldn't get the ball away before he was pulled to ground by Winterstein. Here's Ayton again. Ayton then gets it to Smith. Smith sends it wide and finds Sykes. Sykes, it was a bit of a loose pass, but Reece Lynn leapt and got his hands to it. Here's the last one coming up for Wakefield. Cocaine to Tim Smith. He'll dab the kick into the in-goal area, and it's very well watched by Reece Hanbury.
It had to be as well. Good position by the full-back. But a good pressure kick as well by Tim Smith. Good job that he was aware. It's all about positioning when you're under pressure like that.
That was a bit high on Cameron Phelps.
Was, Eddie. We had an entertaining first 40 minutes. I think we're going to get the same in the rest of this second half. It's very difficult to see if any of these two teams can kick on and really gap the other and put a bit of distance on the scoreboard between them. I mean, Wakefield are in front at the minute, but I just feel with Widnes, with a little bit of field position, they've got points in them tonight. This one's going to go right down to the wire, in my opinion.
This time Lee Smith doesn't let the kick downfield bounce, picks it up on the full, and then he is picked up by Joseph and Kevin Brown. 14 previous Super League encounters between these two, and fairly even. But Widnes just with the 7 wins, Wakefield 6 at 1 draw. At the moment, it's 16-12 to the Wildcats. A real struggle going on for the Super League points as Smith gets the ball away to Washbrook. Washbrook tried to get them going down that left-hand side again. And Vince Mellors will play the ball. Here is Danny Washbrook.
Got to be high kick. No, they've gone for the short blind side.
Forward
tomorrow
pass from Tim Smith. That'll be the turnover. Well, they just lose their way on the last tackle now and again. In the closing moments of the first half, Tim Smith's little dribble, and then they've gone for this power play, and that's not the best pass from a man of Tim Smith's quality.
It's a shocker, especially with ability, as you talk about, Eddie. His kicking game has been pretty good. He should have just dribbled that in, tried to make sure that the pressure was on Widnes. Turned it around now.
Little bit of a worry for the Widnes Vikings. Gareth Hawk has been receiving treatment of what looks like a left limb injury. Physio's been out a couple of times. They want to try and keep him on the field. They've been watching for signals from him on the bench, see if he is okay to play on. Widnes will need him on the field.
Well, he's still out there. That might have been where the injury came about, as he took a tumble. Nice little kick through here for Arvan. Oh, ball didn't bounce properly. Got it back, flick back, play on. Kevin Brown for Widnes. I bet this will go up to the video ref. Could be the second try for Kevin Brown. Did Patrick Arvan manage to get the ball back in the field of play before he touched the whitewash? That's the first question.
I think he's got it in. Beautiful kick through. He's onside, no problem about that. The quality kick from Kevin Brown. And has he been rewarded? This is the incident. Arvan gets to it now. Does he release it? I think he does. That's A-OK. Listen to the home crowd here. That is wonderful work by the big winger Patrick Arvan. And they hung around, I'm afraid. They wanted the help from the man with the whistle. And this will be confirmed TRY.
And it will put Widnes level. Second try from Kevin Brown. 16 all. And a kick to come. And he's so important, Kevin Brown, to this team. He's had his injury woes. He's trying to put them behind him. This is his fourth appearance in a row now.
Well, this is the forward pass from Tim Smith, when really he should have been looking and opting to put the ball into the corner. And that would mean that Widnes would have been trying to get it out from in their own red corner. Brown's kick through, little tip through, and Brown said, "I'll finish. I started it." And the home side, not only back in the game, they could very well take the lead.
Well, this game and this try is a perfect example of how important and influential kicking is now in rugby league. 3 of the tries in the first half all had kicks in them, and the first try of the second half again came about because of a difficult and awkward kick that the defending team couldn't handle.
And talking of kicking, this kick from Patrick Arvan to put Widnes ahead in this match for the first time tonight. Big kick for Arvan, big kick for Widnes. Oh, off 2 posts and out. 16 all.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Don't often see that.
No.
Ding, ding. Gone.
One hit. Just couldn't do it. It's all square. And I must say, it was a brilliant piece of play by that fella.
Oh, this is a high
Brown.
kick. High kick off. Underneath it is Brown. Joseph running with a little bit of vim and vigour. 7 minutes of the second half gone. We're all square.
But it just shows you how the tempo and a game can change on just one incident. The forward pass from Tim Smith. They really should have been hunting and making Widnes pay hard to try to get out of that. Their own quarter. In the end, Brown came up with the brilliance. Oh, that had a big red cross right on that ball.
And Mello gets the penalty. High shot on him. Was it Anakin?
It was. Yeah. Just drifted slightly up above the shoulder. Well, it's a seesaw event, this, isn't it? That is for sure. And discipline's going to play its part. Wigan 24, Hull 10. It's the latest there.
And here it's 16 all. Clark. Mellor, and the pass from Hanbury, did that drift forward. Dean manages to get it back to Winterstein. Sykes with an important tackle. They're 12 metres out, Widnes, far side. Here's Joseph. This is Pickersgill. This is Lloyd White. Scrambling defence from Danny Kermond.
Try-saver there from Kermond.
And here is Mellor again. Ayton gets to him. Mellor almost had that ball tucked underneath the wing behind the back. Last one coming up. And it's Brown, stab to the in goal! Don't think he got a hand to it.
It didn't get anywhere near
got a
it.
hand to it.
I can't believe it. Reece Hambrick, was he deciding which hand to go for? He'd look for all the world he was going to score, and then he just wants it bounce away from him.
Well, it really is a game of rugby football, this, isn't it? The kicks at the end of the sets are leading to all the excitement. They've got the Vikings squared on the feet here, hoping that the team can get in front again. But that one's drifted wide. They'll get the ball back here again there for a repeat set. And Reece Hansbury's starting to get excited.
Yes, he is. The Widnes crowd are. And Peter Fox with the little nudge out with the boot.
Keep an eye on Hanbury, Eddie. He's got the ability to explode in the game. Probably hasn't had the ball in his hands enough so far, but if they can engineer it into it, well, he certainly has the ability to score points.
He's underneath the goal line dropout, celebrating, of course, his inclusion in the exile squad this week. 8 tries before tonight. Top try scorer so far for the Vikings.
And he'll be wondering how on earth he didn't get that ball down.
Great offload from Hock to Clark. Here is Phil Joseph.
Getting through a lot of work, this big fella as well.
This is of course, Phil Joseph. He took a punt on coming to Widnes. He got a contract at Bradford in exactly the same fashion last year. Quick play the ball. John Clark goes the short side. Mellor, wide they go. I think they're in on that far side.
Dean.
And Chris Dean has scored. Well, the game has turned upside down at the start of this second half. 2 tries from Widnes. Could have been a third. Just the bounce of the ball escaped them. Reece Hambury, but Christine, and the next set of 6 from the goal line dropout. And Widnes do have the lead for the first time.
And it was great play, wasn't it, by the skipper, John Clark. A quick play the ball, get himself to the position, and Dean just floats in. Ben Cockayne, he was left with 1-on-2. He had to come in, there was nothing there. He thought that the ball was going to Frank Winterstein, but it wasn't. It was Dean who switched from the centre to the wing at the exact moment. But what a turnaround. Pretty good stuff. It's amazing. Once you get on the roll, you're hard to stop.
And he's not camera shy, Christine. He scored 2 tries, both of them in front of our cameras. The whole game that we saw here, and now here tonight. And Dennis Betts should be rightly proud of the progress that Widnes have made in the past 15 months.
Well, it's in the last 10 minutes, Eddie, as well, that things have changed. They've had more ball on their opponents, and they've used it very intelligently, haven't they? Forcing repeat sets if they weren't scoring tries, and this really will be the icing on the cake to the end of a brilliant 10-minute period for the Vikings. You sit and rest for about 15 at half-time, you listen to words of wisdom, you get your breath back, and then hopefully you go out and try and perform the things that you've talked about and practiced all week and been reinforced at half-time. Well, Widnes seem to have done that for the last 10 minutes.
Well, here is Patrick Arvan to try and add the extras. It's on its way, and it's just wide of the posts again. 20 points to 16. The try scored by Christine on that far side, a position normally held by Willie Isa. What's happened to him, Rod Studd?
Yeah, it could well have been a try that to Willie Isa. It probably would have been, Eddie, had he still been out on the field. As we mentioned, he came off a few minutes before that try. There's the injury. Got a nasty bang on the shoulder, as you can see, the upper arm. And he really has been in the wars tonight, and in the end it was just too much. He's done for the night, that's for sure. They'll have a scan on that injury a little later in the week to see how serious it is, but we won't see Willie Isa again tonight. But it hasn't stopped the Vikings fighting back in the second half, has it?
No, it hasn't, and I think when he overran the pass at the end of the first half, that would have given Widnes at least a share of the spoils after 40 minutes, that's when he first indicated there's a problem with that shoulder.
You know, Eddie, when they signed Phil Joseph at Widnes Vikings, there was question marks asked, and I was one of the people that did it. I thought, Phil Joseph had a go in Super League. He was at Swinton Lions. Would he be able to do a job for the Vikings? Dennis Betts was convinced he could. Looking at his performance tonight, you can see exactly why they've signed him. It's no frills. He runs the ball as hard as he can. He's a big man and he's very difficult to stop. He is absolutely playing to his full potential and doing a great job for the Widnes Vikings.
Well, there he is again, right in the tackling.
Well, Rod Studd said that Dennis Betts said, listen, we need more enthusiasm, and that is a big help. He had a wonderful first half with this fella, Paul Ayton, but he got over-enthusiastic and did not pick up the ball correctly. It wasn't the best play of the ball in the end, was it? Oh, did he? Well, I'm not so sure that he left that.
I think he's done Peter Fox, Mike. I don't think it's Ayton who's knocked on. It's the play of the ball, though. The ball carrier, Peter Fox. They're deeming that as a knock-on. Now, I think the rules state you have to drop or place the ball and roll it backwards. So, by dropping the ball, in the current rules of the game, that's not illegal, but anyway, it's penalised and Widnes have the ball.
Well, that's confusing because...
well, maybe because the ball rolled forward rather than went back, I don't know.
Either way, Widnes will not be complaining.
They won't be, they will be now. It was Lloyd White. It was just in front of him.
Well, White thought he was going to be the dummy runner, and at the last moment, it happens so many times, doesn't it?
Well, that's a gift back to Wakefield, that.
What do you do now if you're Wakefield? You've been blown away at the start of this game. First 13 minutes of the second half of this game, I should say, when you went in front of the scoreboard. You're now 4 points behind. You must go back to what you did in the first half. Phil mentioned at half-time how high they had completed, how many times they had got to the kick and turned the ball over on their terms. They have to back themselves to do that, work their way into this game, back into this game, because it's slipping away from them slightly.
Come on to his feet, will play it to Ayton. Andy Raleigh. And down he goes. And Cocaine will get them over halfway. Good ball then to Ayton. He couldn't get away from Pickersgill. He can get away from Pickersgill.
Oh, great play by Ayton. Very quickly. This guy's had a top match, hasn't he? Ben Cocaine, he's been here, there and everywhere.
Ayton again. They're rolling down the field. Little dab through by Smith. And well watched in the end. Very well watched.
He'd be disappointed with that. He wanted to punch it right into the corner. I think it was Christine that got himself in a good position there. Now it's important now Wakefield try to just force the error if they can.
24-14 at the KC Stadium. 10 points in it there, 4 points in it here. Super League is back on a Friday. Was that punched out of his hands? No, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on that goes against Eamon O'Carroll.
Well, it looked as though O'Carroll had got halfway through the tackle. Oh, it was punched
out by Ali
Lauatiti definitely punched that out.
Yeah, Ali looks over his shoulder, looks at the big screen. We've seen it.
Yeah,
We've seen it, Ali, but the referee hasn't.
Well, maybe there's a point, you know, that they get assistance, don't they?
Choir boy look from Ali Lauatiti as well. But not me.
But what's wrong with telling the official that he's got it wrong?
Lauatiti gets the pass away, and he finds Oliver Wilkes. Phil Joseph's run his blood to water for the time being. Ben Cross has replaced him. Here's Sykes, who finds Lee Smith, who gets it away to Collis. Oh, that was a bad miss by Cameron Phelps.
Good footwork, wasn't it, by Collis?
This is Kermond. Kermond's halted. That's the fourth tackle gone. Ayton to Tim Smith. Tim Smith finds Sykes, back on the inside to Lee Smith, and Lee Smith gets the ball down, and the referee will hand this upstairs because there's a possibility of an obstruction.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no obstruction.
There's certainly contact there, but whether it's sufficient to deny them the try. It's a good inside pass, though. See Lee Smith come through at it.
That's okay.
That looks okay, doesn't it? Yeah. Ooh, that looks slightly, at best, level.
Tim Smith has decided once he's got this ball, he was going to pass short, then no, it's not on.
Oh, that looks obstruction there from that angle.
If he's allowed to continue that run, Steve, that's not a problem. Paul Sykes then finds a great inside ball. Lee Smith, he takes his time touching the ball down. A couple of rolls around eventually.
And they check the groundings, and I think this is going to be given.
Yep. Hanbury tried his damnedest to pull the ball away from the full-back.
6 tries in his last 6 matches for Lee Smith. He had a couple of horror moments in defence in the first half, but he's made up for it with that try. And the score's a level again, and there's a kick to come from Paul Sykes that will edge Wakefield ahead. But this all came about as a result of that punch from Lauatiti.
Yeah, and I just asked the question, Eddie, why can't the officials be told that they've made an error?
Because the video ref could get it wrong, as happened at Cardiff a few years ago. So
yeah, I know, but Phil, that was quite obvious on the replay that it was punched out. Not even a 50-50. Take nothing away from the inside pass, and Smith finished.
Hanbury tried to nick it, couldn't do. And Paul Sykes here now to add the extras. He's kicked 3 out of 4. Big kick. And no mistake from Paul Sykes. Wakefield back in front.
Occasionally you get glimpses from Paul Sykes as to why he was an international player. We saw the pass he put in the first half for Ben Cockayne to score his try, and he was very alert on this occasion to give an inside ball to Lee Smith. As I said, Tim Smith decided that short ball or a face ball to one of his front rows wasn't on, flicked the ball to Paul Sykes, and without looking he knew Lee Smith was on his inside. He's a talented ball player, and Lee Smith as a fullback did the right thing and ran off somebody that can pick out a pass.
And Lee Smith knows what it takes to win a grand final, of course. He did so with Leeds, and he won the Man of the Match award at the 2008 grand final win against St Helens, who all are battling back against Wigan. 2 tremendous games taking place here tonight, and plenty more to come over the weekend. If you take your pick of matches to watch, we're at Salford tomorrow night to see Brian Noble's first game back as a head coach after 30 months in the wilderness. It's been a long time, but Brian Noble will try and revitalise the fortunes with the cash of Dr. Kukash, and it's on Sky Sports 3 tomorrow night at 6:30.
Great offload yet again from Paul Ayton. He really has steered the side around from that dummy half position. Sykes with a kick.
Well watched by Hanbury. Gathers himself, but it's a good chase.
Well, after the restart, you just got the feeling that Widnes had got the wool over the opposition. They were certainly a little bit more enthusiastic. Wakefield a little bit slow to get started, but they're now into the base. Their defence is pretty solid. Ben Cross trying to milk the penalty.
Widnes haven't beaten Wakefield since 2005. That was away from home. The last home win against them, 2004, 25-24. That then was a 4th consecutive home win against the Wildcats at that point. And this is going to go all the way down to the wire. It's only 2 points, and we've got a quarter of the game remaining. Now then, Hanbury, are they running it on the last? A little kick for everyone to chase. And that will turn Ben Cockayne around. It's a good kick. It's a great chase if they get him. And he slips anyway.
Well, you know,
I got to him.
We've got a very tight game. The fundamentals suggest, perhaps, in terms of breaks, Widnes maybe should be slightly in front. Made more breaks than the Wildcats here today, but they haven't converted all of those into points. And at the end of the game, they'll want to make sure that there are no regrets after this match.
Here goes Peter Fox.
We're back in it, Eddie, now. We're back in that arm wrestle, that to and fro. Wakefield have worked their way back in. This man, Paul Ayton's had a lot to do with it. He's dropped the ball.
Yes, it wasn't the best pass. Here goes Gareth Hawk. Go! He's let the ball go, and he's saying it was stolen from him and pushed forward.
Why try to offload when you've just received a gift?
Frustration for Widnes. They've now conceded a penalty.
He picks up the loose ball. They've got the possession. Well, he wants assistance from the touch judge on this near side.
Penalty is the decision.
Well, they made a real error out of this here, and Gareth Hogg, the most important factor, if you've only 30 seconds remaining to the game, yes, try for it.
Is that not advantage?
I'll tell you what I do know. If Wakefield win this game, Danny Kermon, for me, deserves the man of the match award. His defence has been outstanding tonight. He's got back to prevent previous tries. He's prevented Gareth Hogg from scoring. I don't think, no, because Wakefield got the ball in the end, didn't he, Brian? So he was penalised.
Wakefield knocked the ball on. Gareth Hogg picked it up and ran. Should that not be? That was the advantage. Didn't play the ball. No advantage accruing. He should go back and have a scrum where Wakefield knocked the ball on.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. I think I heard Ben Cockayne saying the ball went backwards, but you're right. From the original offence, it was a knock-on by Wakefield. Spinning and turning. Here goes Oliver Wilkes. Here goes Oliver Wilkes.
What a try
from Oliver Wilkes.
Unbelievable.
His coach is on his feet. He wasn't playing at lunchtime. Wasn't named by Richard Agar. Justin Poor ended up crocked. Wilkes was thrown in the deep end, and how about this for a return?
He just kept going. No problem at all. Where did that speed come from? Well, this is what you call a poor decision. Confirmation of the TRY.
And his first try since June, and of course Oliver Wilkes, once upon a time, was a Widnes player. He had 2 seasons with them in the National League One, 2006, 2007. But what an effort this is.
My understanding is that that's a knock-on, so this is a free play. Gareth Hogg picks this ball up, and this is advantage. This is a free play. Now, when this doesn't come off for Widnes, that ball goes back, a scrum is set, and Widnes Vikings have the head and feet. That's what should have happened. On that occasion, we had the ruling of a penalty in favour of the Wildcats. That's why I think that's the wrong decision.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Yep, you're right, Brian. But this is unbelievable. No one went low, and the speed. Hang on. They're not supposed to have that sort of speed. This is what you call second effort. Back on the inside, not the best attempt, was it? Ben Cross got pushed out of the way. And boy, he'll be talking about this for many, many weeks to come, if not months or years.
Change of kicker, Lee Smith hits the post. Well, a little bit of controversy, to say the least, about that try. But Wakefield won't be complaining. They are 26-20 up.
Well, possibly about the last 2 if you think that Ali Lauatiti punched the ball out of Eamon O'Carroll. But either way here now, it's the Vikings' turn to score next.
And I suppose you've got to also remember the touch judge came on, had a discussion with the official, and I think I'm quite right in saying that Ben Thaler overruled the touch judge.
Well, while we were watching that, Wakefield have come up with a bit of an error, courtesy of Andy Riley. He's knocked on.
Well, it has a way of evening itself out in this game. And I said Widnes Vikings have got points in them.
Terrible play the ball from Andy.
Absolutely, they've got very little right on that occasion.
It's a shocker. The forward pass as well from Hayton.
Well, watch out now. As we said, Widnes have got points in them. They've shown that. They started this second half well. Can they go now and try and tie the game?
Well, this is Hanbury, and if anyone can, he might be able to.
Well, we've had plenty of draws already this season.
Kevin Brown with a little signal, he's coming this way, and he is with Hogg. Well, Gareth Hogg, they've upset him by not taking that back for the free play. He'll play the ball there to Cameron Phelps, who'll find Brown. Brown is clattered by Washbrook. Last year's hit man of the year, Danny Washbrook.
They've got to come later and anticipate the pass from Brown. They're going too early on it.
Mello, long ball to Hanbury, standing start, tempting them, forced back. Referee shouts held, lost about 10 metres momentum then though. Oh, and there's a right argy-bargy at the play of the ball. Here's Eamon O'Carroll, gets the ball away. Ben Cross.
That's a high shot. Well, he rattled around the top of Ben Cross's head.
Last one coming up for Widnes. It's with Kevin Brown again. Dabs it into the in-goal area. Horrible bounce. Picked up by Washbrook.
Boy, good job, we got a second go at it. It was a neat little kick from Brown.
Ball's lost.
It's a knock-on.
It's a knockdown, it's a knock-on, it's head and feed Wakefield.
It's getting a bit tasty out there. Ben Cross not too happy. The previous attempt, and he's gone to the official and said, what about the one that smacked me right on the nose?
It's great, this, isn't it? We're in the last quarter of the game. Teams 10th and 11th in the table, fighting here as though this game would get them into the playoffs. It's quite possibly it might do, actually. I know we're several months off that. The winner here tonight increases the chances, and the loser, well, it looks a long way, doesn't it, from that 8th spot, but...
Well, it does, particularly for Wakefield. They're 5 points off the playoffs, and with everything that's happening this weekend, unless they win here tonight, they could be cast adrift, and that's why they're fighting so tenaciously for these 2 points.
You can't call it, can you?
Not at all.
You still can't call this game. Neither side have kicked on.
Cockayne is dragged to the ground on tackle number 4.
Well, he'll not give up. He knows that they can hang on to the 6-point lead, that is.
Amor to halfway. Here comes the last tackle. The kick from Sykes, surely this time. Goes long. Now then, Hanbury, but look where he has to run it away from. His own goal line. Oh, and he's running laterally. And he might...
Lucky. Very fortunate indeed.
He just managed to keep the ball the right side of the whitewash.
Well, when he started running across his own goal line, Dennis Spence must have been near to a heart attack.
Well, this is reminiscent of the closing moments of the first half. At the same end as Widnes piled in on Wakefield. Now, roles reversed. It's Wakefield piling in on Widnes looking for the error.
Yeah, but don't give a silly penalty away.
O'Carroll gets about 22 metres away on the 4th. Mellor, back it comes to Hanbury. Wide it goes to Christine. Scrambling. Oh, that's
a penalty.
And there is a silly penalty.
They've done all their hard work.
Richard Agar will be furious.
Yep. I said he might come down to just composure, Eddie, or the lack of it, should I say. And Sykes, what on earth was going through his head? It's no good shaking your head now. It could cost your team. He's not happy. He's every right to be furious.
Well, they've been so close on so many occasions this year. So close to victories. Smith is all over the top of Hanbury. That's a battle that's developing as well.
But
Eamon O'Carroll.
You saw there, Eddie, that Gareth Hock wanted to pull off Tim Smith after he'd done the tackle. That could have been deemed as a penalty as well. They've got to have this composed at either side.
Cameron Phelps goes down on tackle number 3. That should be a penalty. The referee says no. Fox is being held down. Here's our van. They give him some passes close to the touchline, don't they?
I know it's a big unit, but he did well to stay in.
John Clark. Whoa, did that go backwards? Yes.
Yes, it did.
Play on.
Got to move it. Got to move it.
O'Carroll to Brown. Brown.
Play on his boots.
It's a pretty good kick.
It is a good kick. It is a good kick.
Has he got there?
Well, he wants to check.
Well, Mellor certainly got a touch to it. Did he take it over? They took a huge gamble. They kicked early. They didn't wait till the 5th. They kicked on the 4th. Well, it's been a busy night for Steve Ganson, the video referee.
Well, he's not doing much these days. Only video refereeing and trying to sort out the referees.
And you reckon that's not doing much?
It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Yeah, it is, but he nearly got close to it, didn't he?
Who was the last player to touch it, Eddie? I think Cockayne touches it here. Does it make any contact with the hands of Mellor before it goes over the sideline? I think it does. So I would have thought a tap 20 restart.
Should be.
I'm not sure whether he touches it, and that's what Steve Ganson's got to see, because Cockayne's trying to shuttle it out, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he does there, but you're saying, does that right hand come and touch it from Mellor?
I think it does. Or
Fingers
does it?
on the ball then, weren't they?
Well, it's hard to say.
That might not be the angle to look at that. I understand what you're saying, but I think there was another angle that might have said, well, we get a decision now.
Come on,
all that matters.
we know 20. It's no try, don't we? And it's a goal line dropout.
Sorry, Dad.
Difficult, very difficult, but it does look from
Fourth goal line dropout here that Wakefield have got to take.
Cockayne tries to flip it, and
no, I think he's got it right, Steve Ganson.
Yep. Either way.
Eddie, if they're going to get a win in this game, Wakefield, they'll need to defend sets like this and times of pressure like this. They have a player out there who's been tremendous for them tonight in defence, and that's Danny Kermond. He's up with 40 tackles at the moment, and he'll play a large part in trying to keep a rampant Widnes Vikings team out right now.
Well, Adam Lawton came on and scored a hat-trick on his home debut last week in the Cup against Doncaster, and he's out there again now. Meanwhile, this is a wide pass to Patrick Arvan. They get him down, but only just. He's 5-6 metres away from the line. Penalty!
Yeah, Collis was hanging on. Collis tackled low. Then there was interference, I think, from Fox. But I tell you what, you talk about the big fella, Adam Lawton. The first time he took the ball up, boy, he raised the elbow. He could have been penalised whilst carrying the ball because he definitely raised the elbow.
Well, here comes another set of 6 at this Wakefield defence. Widnes trying to batter the doors down. And it's Brown. They get him down on the second. 10 minutes remaining, 6 points in it. All to play for. Clark, short ball, Ben Cross!
Oh, that's got to be a penalty. That was reefed out.
Well, it went backwards. It went backwards, he says. This is Brown again, short ball, that's off the chest. Chance is gone.
Now, I think Ben Cross might have tried to offload it. We'll get another look at it. Dennis Betts would like to have seen them get through that set and cross the line. Short ball played at the line, and well, Wakefield, they're not waiting around for anybody. Again, a great run from an outside back. Ben Cockayne on this occasion, and they're up near the halfway line.
And Peter Fox takes up the second carry. They get to halfway.
That's wonderful play. That pleases any coach. Well, the panic system seems to just run through this Widnes outfit.
Here goes Kyle Amor.
They get anywhere near the opposition line, Eddie, and they just go silly. Oh,
little
great
fumble
work
by Ayton, and they have men on the overlap here. This is Kermond, grounded by Arvan.
Good
Last one
tackle,
coming up here for Wakefield. Drop goal from Sykes. Drop goal from Sykes. He's pushed it wide.
Gone left.
So often in the past, Paul Sykes has scored crucial drop goals for Wakefield this season and last.
Not a bad option.
No, it would have meant that Widnes had to score twice.
Now that it needs good, hard, solid work from the forwards. But the time is ticking away.
Is anybody prepared to call this game? We got 9 minutes. We've got Wakefield in front. You just get the feeling, though, Widnes, they have something in them, Steve-O.
Yeah, I reckon I'll go for the draw, actually.
Hock. Is that a call?
Yeah.
Oh, he's lost it, Gareth Hock. Knock on by Hock. Head and feet to Wakefield.
Wakefield's defence on the line 2 minutes ago was outstanding. They couldn't get through Widnes through everything they had at them, and I sense here now, having worked as hard as they had, the visitors here aren't going to give up their 6-point lead. You know, it would take something remarkably special now from a Widnes player, I think, to score in the last 7 minutes.
Well, Richard Agar, surely he'll get the message out to Tim Smith or Paul Sykes. Say, listen, we live down the opposition area.
Well, they might seek another 1-pointer here, the end of this set of 6. Amor, look, they're taking it up the middle. Not going wide, now they will. If Sykes gets it away to Vince Mellors.
They're driving in. Tim Smith shouting, go to the post, we need the one.
Amor does that. Will they go early? Sykes is there.
One more drive, I reckon.
Oh, they've got a 2-pointer coming.
Yeah,
they've got a 2-pointer coming.
Yeah.
Well, Richard Agar, he looks quizzical, wonders what that is for. It was for a shoulder, was it, by Ben Cross?
Yeah.
Or then a little fiddle on the floor. 2 will do.
Yep. Take your time. No rushing.
I thought it was a quizzical look for what the penalty was given for, but maybe not. It was obvious in the end.
It'll make no difference. He shakes his head. Ben Cross. Yeah, didn't miss him. It just shows you that that word, composure, we've got him both ways, interfering as the man's trying to get up and play the ball, or the high shot. Either way, it's an opportunity for Wakefield to stretch it to an 8-point lead.
So if you're Widnes, are you thinking about a short restart, Mikey? You've got to get the ball back?
Well, you've got to.
A quick start and a short restart here. Contest the ball. You have to score twice, and the only way you can do that if you have possession. So you kick to your right or your left, probably to the left-hand side of the field. Tall players like Gareth Hawk can go.
Well, Lee Smith with the...
Frank Winterstein's come over here. They've got to...
Yeah, they're going
the tallest side of the field over here.
They've loaded this side, haven't they? They're all over here. Hawk, Winterstein, and they're going... Yeah, they're coming this way. Short kick-off from Hanbury. Winterstein's after it, palms it backwards. Widnes will come up with it with Phelps.
Good tackle by Westbrook. Oh, he didn't play that ball correctly. He's been given the opportunity, though. He says, play on, does Ben Thaler.
And Ben Cross does that, trundles it forward. Try here, 5 to go, it's all on. Clark, Brown, Mellor forward. Oh, they put it down again.
Well, it's always a big risk.
Oh, well done, Cockayne. It was a no-risk play, that.
It was a risky play, the other one, Eddie. If you go that short little pass and just hold it back, very difficult to take on the run. It was good defence, though, wasn't it?
Yes, Sykes did well.
Paul Sykes got to him very quickly.
Well, it's been an entertaining game, and it's been a good performance from Richard Agor's Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. They lost away a bit at the start of this second half after playing a good first 40 minutes, but they worked their way back into the game. A couple of fortuitous calls, I'll admit that. They sometimes even out in a match. They put themselves in a great position now, and probably a winning position to get 2 competition points. So well done to them.
Well, Widnes have got 4 minutes to rescue it. Patrick Arvan. Oh, good tackle. Good tackle from Sykes. He's a fearsome sight coming towards you, Patrick Arvan.
Well, all it needs now is good defence by Wakefield.
And there's a Widnes player down. That's why the referee has called time off for the moment. It's Ben Cross, who's got all sorts of problems.
Looks like the knee is it. He knows it's pretty serious.
Well, the stretcher is out and is going to be constructed.
Can't really see anything there. Oh, he's grabbed it. Is it the bottom of the hamstring or knee? Either way, he's usually when you see a player down injured, when they don't move, you know that they're not messing around.
No, he's missed the last 5, and the word is it was with a ligament injury. It looks like it might be a recurrence.
You couldn't want more than that. He's got 2 doctors and 2 physios. Excellent medical attention.
Good care, isn't it?
They've got a stretcher to take him off. His right foot seemed to be stuck in the ground as he twisted there, didn't he? Pushing Amor to the floor.
Holds the back of the knee immediately.
He knows that maybe the ligaments have gone.
It's disappointing to see.
He started so well, didn't he?
You know, he's very well respected around this club, Ed. He's a very experienced player, and he brings a calming influence and a game experience to this club, which Dennis Betts has recognised and publicly acknowledged. Sad to see a player like him lead the field in this situation, in these conditions.
Sympathetic applause, obviously, from the Widnes faithful, the Ben Cross, and I think his demeanour indicates that that is a fairly serious injury.
Yeah. The big question now, will Dennis Betts sort of a little word with the officials? Remember, controversial incident.
Well, there's been a couple of difficult calls for Widnes.
Well, there's one particular, isn't there, Eddie, when regards to Hawk carrying on what should have been a free play according to the new rules and regulations.
And Big Ali knocking the ball out deliberately, and then they scored from that set as well. Wakefield, but look, these things have a habit of levelling themselves out during the course of a season. And remember, both of these sides have got a game in hand. Admittedly, it's against the champions, but it's a game in hand on all the rest around, about and above them.
Eddie, have a listen to these defensive efforts from Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Paul Ayton, 32 tackles, no misses. Danny Washbrook, 35 tackles and just the 1 miss. And Danny Kermond, 43 tackles, just 2 misses. Almost 100 tackles. I make it with 3 misses for those 3 players. They've been outstanding tonight in defence, and a couple of them so good in attack as well.
He's certainly put himself around, hasn't he? Tyler Amore.
The league leaders have held on with a ferocious battle by the looks of things at the KC. Wigan 28, Hull 20. Report from that game in Super League extra time with Brian. 28-20 here as well. Same score. The ball's gone to ground. Widnes swoop on it in the shape of Christine.
Well, I was just about to say, play safety first and get the kick away. And what did they do? They tried to get it out wide on the left-hand side. That could have been a breakaway try.
2.5 minutes to go. Widnes have got a score, and Brown knocks it down the line, or attempted to. Wasn't the best, and Lee Smith really has put the nightmare of 2 horrible bounces behind him in the first half.
Another injury to a Widnes player.
Reece Hambury, I think. Yes, it is. Reece Hambury on the floor. This defeat, if defeat it will be now, coming at a cost. They want him off.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Remember, they've already lost Willie Isa.
And Ben Cross.
Yep.
Well, he pulls up, doesn't he? He was not touched.
You think it might be hamstring, Eddie, when you see a movement like that, running back for the ball and the player reaching back.
Yeah, you can see it's a stiff leg walk, so certainly in that vicinity. The hamstring. Well, he knows he had the opportunity.
This will be a big blow for them, though, if Hambury's out for any length of time.
Well, to lose 3, Cross, as you say, Isa and Hanbury. Not only look like they're going to lose tonight, they've lost 3 of their influential players.
Peter Fox. 2 minutes remaining. Wakefield closing in on a vital win.
And it's a 2 points, Eddie, that virtually keeps their hopes alive of making the playoffs. I know it's pretty early in the season, but they couldn't afford to lose tonight. They would have been too far adrift, I feel.
Ayton gives it to Amore. We're looking just to settle this once and for all here. But this is the last.
1 pointer, surely. Sykes.
No, Smith. He hammers that out. And I don't think Richard Agar was in favour of that tactic. But it just eats the clock up.
Well, he's stopped the clock already now as Ben Thaler. But, I'm with you, Eddie.
Well, 1.25 minutes remaining.
They should hang on.
They will hang on for that.
And he's been influential as Tim Smith. There's been some pretty good performances from Wakefield, especially Paul Ayton. Danny Kermond, of course. Kyle Amore, especially in the second half. But
I'm not sure why he was so disappointed. I mean, they'd be more disappointed with conceding a penalty there.
Lautiti all over Kevin Brown. Still all over Kevin Brown. We enter the final throes of this match. Entertaining it's been from start to finish.
Yeah, I've
it's been
enjoyed
a good
it.
effort this from Wakefield.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Both sides have dug deep.
John Clark. Brown, short ball. Lawton gets it away to Dean. Dean backs himself. This is taken out without the ball.
Well, I think Cockayne was taken out. And Ali Lautiti nearly took the cameraman out. Be a drop out. But to be to no avail. No way that Widnes can score 8 points and try to level the score in the seconds remaining.
There are a lot of things that happen over the course of 80 minutes. You can all pick out what you think are a turning point. But I go back to when Gareth Hock went over the try line in the first half. Danny Kermond and Washbrook were both in attendance and did enough to prevent him grounding. Now, I know there's an 8-point gap at the moment, but the number of times that Kermond, in particular in my opinion, has got back to prevent tries and made a difference on this dangerous left side for Widnes, well, he's been clearly outstanding in my view.
It's 5 seconds remaining. Wakefield is the crowd that is counting down to the final siren, and there it is. Wakefield go home with the points. It's a question of just by how many, because here's our van. Wakefield muscling up. He gets the ball away to Cameron Phelps. Infield it comes to Eamon O'Carroll. Neat pass out the back to Phil Joseph.
I think he took the wrong option though, but he might get over.
He has! Phil Joseph will score in the last throws of this match to take a little bit of the gloss off the Wakefield win, but win it will be courtesy of that penalty, the penalty goal that was kicked by Lee Smith. Phil Joseph, well, he wouldn't be denied, would he? And it's a narrow victory for Wakefield. Deserved, but it couldn't have been much closer.
Well, it's ever too late. The run around from Hawk and Brown. I thought our van perhaps took the wrong option, but you've got to give Joseph a lot of credit for this. You talk about upper body strength. Took nearly 4 over with him. Fully deserved. To no avail, though.
Kevin Brown, just a few moments ago, has kicked the conversion. So it looks close on the scoreboard. And indeed it was close. It was a hard-fought, close-run thing. But in the end, Wakefield win by the narrowest of margins, 28 points to 26. A hugely entertaining fixture, though. And players on both sides shaking hands. And the coach, Richard Agart, will be delighted with this. Absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, they dug deep, and he knows it as well. There was a period after the restart in the second half when Widnes looked as though they were going to take control, but full credit to the Wakefield players, especially in the forwards, who worked hard in defence. He had an outstanding game. In fact, there wasn't a bad player on the Wakefield side. They certainly were a good unit tonight.
OK, Kermond, Dayton, Sykes, they thank their supporters for their support tonight. 28-26 final score. There's the man of the match, Ben Cockayne. He's talking to Rod.
Ben, well done, man of the match performance. Had that bottle of bubbly. Just tell us how significant a win that could be for Wakefield in the chase for a playoff repeat.
It's a really big win for us, but we're still a long way off. I think finishing game like that's pretty disappointing. But we know coming to Widnes tonight, I think there's only one team won here this year, so we know we're going to be a massive challenge. They play some great stuff. They can score tries from anywhere, but we've managed to come away with 2 points, fortunately.
Just tell us how different it is playing on this surface. I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, but it's so much quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fast as anything. I mean, you can see right ruck and that, it's really quick, and it's safe for both teams, mate, if there's a roll on all time and that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's all right for people like me and from dummy half and that kind of stuff, so yeah, I enjoyed it.
Another try for you tonight, and nearly a second one as well. You nip and tuck with Peter Fox. It's quite a battle for top try scorer at Wakefield, isn't there?
I picked him last year, so he's not happy about it. So, but you know, it's healthy competition, and I've missed out last 3 or 4 games on tries, and I managed to sneak one tonight, so I'm pleased.
Good, well done on the win as well. Just tell us where you're going to send the charity money for us, Ben, would you?
I'd like to split it, please. 50 to Herbalife Family Foundation and 50 to Oliver Field Appeal.
Will do, that's done. Thanks very much, Ben. Let's bring Kevin Brown in from the Widnes Vikings. Kevin, thanks for talking to us. A tough night because at times you looked like you had the game under control, particularly at the start of the second half.
Yeah, definitely. That's the most frustrating thing. With the ball, we're not too bad. It's just defensively we're not consistent enough, and we got beat by a good team today.
The club have made a lot of strides forward in the last 12 months. Obviously, bringing you in is part of that. How have you found it here at Widnes, and where do you think the club can go by the end of the season?
I'm absolutely loving it. It's a great club. It's got good foundations, and you know the building, and hopefully we can keep building. But we need to concentrate on the now and get our defence sorted if we're going to move forward.
Is it part of a learning process because you've been not far away from winning at Cass and then here tonight? These are the games that you need to learn how to win, aren't they?
Definitely. We spoke about it with the last couple of years. They've not been favourites, and that bit of pressure it changes the way you play. And you saw that again tonight. But we need to learn from this and build. And that's the thing. We've got a young team and we're moving forward.
Thanks for talking to us, Kevin.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Kevin Brown and the Widnes Vikings will know that the last time we saw Widnes on Sky Sports at Castleford, it was exactly the same scoreline as this, so they've come up on the wrong side of the ledger by 2 points in the last 2 Super League matches. Disappointment for them, delight though for the Wildcats. 28 points to 26. In the end, it was the penalty goal from Lee Smith, but there were huge question marks about a couple of the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats tries.